Are these the most stressful times ever, or does it just seem like that? In any case, mental health in general is a big concern these days, and it's the focus of a new national PBS show created by local producer-actor Tyler Coe. The show, How Are We Today, premieres this month, and here's a snippet.
Hey, how are we today? I hope you're doing okay. Mental health. It's what we're here to talk about. It's kind of what everybody's talking about nowadays, but just because all of us are, doesn't make it any easier to figure out what's going on. Hi, I'm Tyler.
I'm Barbara from next door.
I'm Mariel from down the hall.
Your music has been keeping us up for the past few hours.
I am so sorry. I think I had a moment of hyperfixation. See, I'm somebody who suffers from bipolar disorder. Why don't you come in, I'll put on some coffee, and I'll share everything I know about this.
And Tyler Coe joins us now. First, Tyler, I think you can see this coming. We want to ask, how are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you today?
I am doing well, even better now that we're having this conversation. You said you hope the show helps change the conversation about mental health. But first, what would you say is wrong with the conversation about mental health, and how can the show help fix that?
Well, there's a couple things wrong, there's a couple things right. I think the thing when it comes to mental health is that it's very nuanced, and that's what we talk about on the show, is the nuance of all of these different things that we deal with. Whether you're somebody that actually deals with a mental condition, or more importantly, somebody that loves, deals, has a friend, colleague that has a mental condition, we know how hard that can be, and that brings up compassion fatigue, right? There are a lot of bad actors in the mental health crisis right now, and there's people that are trying to help, but there's these pitfalls that a lot of folks can fall into, especially our young people, when we're talking about social media and kind of the dangers of what they're seeing, what they're digesting. And that's where the show kind of looks to illuminate all of that.
And the show is so timely. Like you said, this affects everyone. I mean, I've fallen victim to this over the last few years. Who hasn't with the pandemic fallout? And a show like this obviously has been in the works for many months, if not years. But the timing, it is just so timely. It's very serendipitous for our current very stressful times. Was that a plan to release it? Or was it just like, okay, perfect divine timing?
No, actually, I mean, it is. We think we think it's the right time for this show to come out, but this actually was a 6-year project. So this started 6 years ago, actually in Los Angeles, before finally making its way back home to Austin, Texas, where I'm from. But we feel like it is the right time because what the show is simplicity for complexities. It's using humor to face horrors, right? It's about taking the smallest of steps and actions for the largest of problems. So in this world right now, and you know this full well, we have too much going on that we cannot deal with it all at once. So what we preach on the show is create just a little bit of space, do one simple thing, and that's gonna help take care of the rest.
I like that, one step at a time. That's really accessible for everyone. And as Stefan from SNL might say, this show has everything, including a large brown beaver puppet. I don't know, seeing that puppet cures my mental health on the spot. Can you tell us what that's all about?
Yes, I can. His name is Barry the Beaver.
Oh, perfect.
And Barry deals with ADHD. So he's a very busy beaver, and he gets lost sometimes trying to do these different tasks, and it gets very overwhelming for him that I'm sure a lot of people can relate to, right? So on the show, almost every character that you see is dealing with a mental health condition that we hope that you can relate to. So I myself am actually bipolar. My character on the show is as well. We have people that suffer from severe clinical depression, people that suffer from panic attacks, and then Barry the Beaver with that very familiar ADHD.
Wow. Would you say the show is for kids primarily, or adults, or just for anyone?
Well, that's the thing, and this was the annoying thing when you go into pitch meetings for a TV show, they say, well, what is the demo? Who's the target audience? And I'm like, everybody, which they don't like that answer.
Yep.
But that really is the answer for the show. Now, I will say it's not necessarily for younger kids. We are looking more kind of at that danger zone that I called, of those teen years, going into middle school, going into high school, because I'm not sure if you know this, but typically almost 50% of mental health conditions, they come online when you reach puberty. It's just kind of a thing, you always were. I was the same, I was diagnosed with bipolar when I was about 12 or 13, and so we really want to kind of gear this show towards that audience, but also a generation like mine that's a little bit older that didn't really have these things growing up and just now getting the answers. And so we're looking at this world with all this language and all these things, and we're like, well, you guys might be familiar with this, but we're not. And it's also for one of the most affected groups right now that most people might not know about. That's the elderly. That demographic is dealing with mental health issues more than they ever have. So the show really is trying to hit both ends of the spectrum. And we've built this kid world that we're familiar with, right? And obviously if you're watching this on PBS, hopefully you see a lot of the inspiration behind it, because those heroes gave us the blueprint that we're still trying to follow. You know, the Fred Rogers and the LeVar Burtons and Bill Nye and Miss Frizzle and the rest, of learning about ourselves but doing it in a kind way. And I think we're trying to at least bring that back with the show. So we're bringing it back for everybody.
And I'm sure this show is going to be a life preserver for many. And thank you for the courage to share your own journey. Tyler Coe, best of luck with How Are We Today. We cannot wait to watch when it debuts on PBS.
Thank you so much, Laura.
Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe and leave us a comment below to let us know your thoughts on this video. And don't forget, you can watch full episodes of Austin Insight for free in the PBS app.